The Happy Mondays 24-hour Party People Greatest Hits Tour starts in November, and to sound us out and tell us more about these great series of gigs, we've got Bez on the line right now. Hello, Bez, how are you doing?
How do, everybody? How are you?
We're great, mates. 25 shows to see us up to Christmas. That'll do us nicely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've not done that many shows for a while, so it'd be definitely a test of character, but I'm sure we're all up for it.
Yeah, the party never stops, does it?
No, never stops.
Well, you are the live show, so this will be right up your street. It'll be you at your best, won't it?
Yeah, well, luckily I've still got enough energy to do it. I've been blessed with this natural energy, what I seem to be able to tap into still. So yeah, I'm hopefully I'll be on form for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've got this natural energy and this natural rhythm as well. And a lot of people have asked me, because they knew I was talking to you, did you have any dance lessons or was this just natural?
No, I've never had a dance lesson. I could do with a dance lesson, but it might take away from what. If I knew how to dance, then it'd probably spoil it. I've got away with not knowing anything about dance. In the old days, I was depending on the power of drugs to power me along. Yeah. But these days, I'll do it all natural style.
Is that difficult, or is that just better now?
Well, yeah, it's. Well, it's a lot easier, especially when you're doing loads of nights, one after another, because you ain't got the monkey on your back and depending on something to fuel your creativity.
Yeah.
So, in that way, it's a lot easier. But it's only happened, though, last year. I've done this thing called a Vision Quest.
Yeah.
And that's where you go out in the wilderness for 4 days and 4 nights. And you work with all the directions, so the west is the place of death, so you send your old self to the death. The south, you was dealing with all your issues. To the north, I was doing this 4-2 breathing thing and brought in all this responsibility and discipline. And on the fourth night, you're waiting for your rebirth with the rising sun in the east. And it had this incredible effect on me where I felt like I could, it's a form of self-therapy where I felt like I could deal with everything without the aid of drugs anymore.
Wow. Well, you do sound really well. Did you think back in the 80s that you'd be still doing Happy Mondays 30-odd years on?
No, I actually spoke about that the other day, and it's actually incredible because I didn't even think I was going to be in a band because it all came about by chance, really, you know what I mean? It wasn't a planned thing, so yeah, and still to be doing something I never planned 30 years later is incredible, really. But I'm really thankful for it, and like you say, you make your own reality, so I managed to create this unusual job for me, what I'm still doing 30 years later.
Yeah, and this year was the 30th anniversary of the debut album being released, Squirrel and G-Man 24-hour Party People Plastic Face Can't Smile White Out album.
Yeah, I'll never forget making that album. That was really, really great because, again, I was working with John Cale on that album. And, as a kid growing up, we was all, listening to Velvet Underground and all these 60s bands. And to be working with John Cale was unbelievable. And I'll never forget his face when one day I was sat in the studio listening to the band doing the stuff. And he's turning around looking at me, shrugging and going, what the f***'s going on here then, man? You know what I mean? And I thought, he's talking about his mad bassline change. And it wasn't. He's like, he couldn't believe that we didn't understand, the basic timing of 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like that because he used to start off slow, then we used to get really a bit faster in the middle and really fast at the end. And we hadn't a clue about 1, 2, 3, 4 timing. You know what I mean? Which is how naive the band was musically. You know what I mean? So he taught us about 1, 2, 3, 4 time and double time and all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'll never forget that moment. And when he's like his face at that moment when he didn't realise we didn't understand no basic music.
Yeah. I've interviewed John Cale about 10 years ago, and this was like before the smoking ban, and he insisted that no one smoked in the venue, and he was quite eccentric, but at the same time a really, really genuine nice guy.
Yeah. Well, I remember at the time, I think he must have been coming off drugs and everything else. And he was eating extra strong mints and tangerines, like one after the other. Like it was a strange combination, but that's what he was on.
Replacing something for something else, I suppose. I had a chat to Sean last month when the Black Grape album landed, and it was great to see how settled he's become now with his family life. And I suppose you have to calm it down a bit at some point, haven't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, don't know about calming down, but you move into different stages of life, don't you? As you mature, as they say. But for me, my lifestyle hasn't changed that much. You know what I mean? But I'm a granddad now. That's one thing what has changed, which is really nice. You know what I mean? But for me, things have gone on, but. I do it the same sort of things, but in a different manner now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And we talked about how the music still stands up today because the kids have got the same struggles, really, but now they've got it with the help of social media and iPhones.
Yeah. Well, I think the kids have actually got it worse than we've had it back in the day because at least there was apprenticeships and things still going around when we left school. You know what I mean? I left school in the 1980s, even though we was 1 in 10s. I think it's 1 in 6s now.
Yeah.
And the job opportunities are far and few between. We've got no manufacturing going on anymore. We haven't got a lot of engineering. We haven't got half the stuff what we used to have. It's all gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that is a worry, but that's another story. I could go on about politics, but I won't do.
I've got a few more questions for you, Bez, because we could talk about politics all day, couldn't we? Really, but let's talk about you. Do you still have your taxi?
No, it got stolen years ago. Yeah, and I actually got it back. Mine is the only thing what I paid for, which was. Had a Chevy V8 small block engine in there and a gearbox with a straight-through exhaust and that. And that's the only thing I didn't get back with the car.
Wow.
When I chased it down when we finally found the car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just sat it, you know what I mean? Because I was just so disheartened. The only thing I really wanted back off it was the engine and the gearbox.
Exactly.
And that's it. Yeah. So... but it was a great toy whilst it lasted.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was last year, Piers Morgan claimed you spiked his burger at Ronnie Biggs' house.
I know, can you believe that?
Was this trying to be cool?
What a name dropper.
I know.
No, there's no truth in that. I've never spiked anyone in my life, though, but... it's funny and it's not funny, you know what I mean? There's a funny side into it, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? How do you spike a burger?
Exactly. That's how naive Piers Morgan probably is.
Yeah. But I'm sure he's just saying it as a laugh, you know what I mean? But there's no truth in that story.
But there's truth that you were at Ronnie Biggs' house, though.
Yeah, it was down at Ronnie Biggs' house. Yeah, it was nice to meet Ronnie before he died. You know, he's an English legend in a funny sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like one of the anti-heroes, isn't he?
Definitely, yeah. You've had some great experiences, Bez. Is there anything else you'd like to achieve?
Well, there's lots of things I'd like to achieve in life. The main one now is to win the anti-fracking, to see that succeed, you know what I mean? Yeah. And the people of our country reclaim our country. There's a great swathe of our country has been licensed out to fracking, and basically the companies what are doing it are not even fracking for us or for our gas. It's for themselves, and I'm going to court next week with a friend of mine, Joe Corrie, challenging a company called Ineos about we're moving into this corporate dictatorship, and what they are actually trying to do to stop the freedom of speech is incredible. So we're making a challenge in court against them at the moment. But I'd love to win that battle, and I'd love to see Corbyn getting more involved. You know what I mean? Because he says he's saying it's not a political part of it's a political agenda, but it's going to affect this country so much. You know what I mean? And it's going to affect our war. They're doing it in our where we grow all our crops. You know what I mean? In our agricultural areas. At Preston New Road, they said they've got the gold standard of fracking, and yet they've breached everything they said they were about already. They've already gone through aquifers. So the future is pretty bleak, you know, with these fellas planning to do what we do. And we don't live in America or Australia. England's a small built-up area, and we need more awareness. So I'd love to win that battle against the frackers. That's my main achievement now, and win victory for the future of our country, and for our children's children as well.
Yeah, well, you're a bit of a legend, Bess, so adding your name to the cause, to any cause, would help it.
Well, I hope so. Like I say, it's a big battle. We're taking on the corporations of the City of London, all the money man, and the America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On the TV, there was a story that you couldn't say because it was too saucy for daytime TV. Could you tell it to me, and I'll decide whether we leave it in the interview?
No, it was. I remember that interview was talking about. It was on daytime TV. It was when I was going into Big Brother, and it was in my drug taking heyday. I took 7 grams of whiz in with me and a gram of MDMA. But somebody had grassed me up to the Big Brother production team. So I've been sat there for about 5 seconds in there. And by the way, all my mates had got barred off the show. On the first night, you know what I mean? All my pals had been barred from the show. Yeah. Everyone had been barred. And I got called into the production office saying, and they knew exactly what he had. So somebody had grasped me up, within our fingers. So I managed to convince them that I wouldn't do that. I said, no, not me. No, I was thinking of doing it. I'm right off the head now and all that. But, so apparently they had the drug council stood on 24 standby, and I think they kept walking the roofs, searching my clothing and all that, looking for me drug stash. But I used to go, luckily in the celebrity one, the toilet cameras used to be switched off. So I used to go in there every morning, switch my camera off and prepare myself a whiz bomb. And forget to turn my microphone on the way off. So every time I used to come out the toilet, like, Bears, will you switch your microphone back on? But the amazing thing about that is I actually won the bloody thing as well, which I didn't ever expect I would win it.
I know, mate.
And and on the penultimate day, I ran out of bloody speed, so I had to start on the MDMA. And you know what? I don't know if you ever took MDMA, but it's really dodgy. You can find a fine line between just having enough or too much. And of course, I couldn't control my jaw. My tongue was stuck to the roof of my mouth. It was like really bad. And every day I was waking up as well because I was speeding under the studio. And my sheets were soaking. I was having to hang my sheets out. I couldn't get to sleep at night. You know what I mean? It was a bit of a nightmare, really.
Bess, We're looking forward to the Happy Mondays tour like we did 30 years ago. Will they all be there?
Yeah,
We'll all be there.
Can't wait for it, mate.
But I'll be at the front trying to do your dance, mate. That's what I'll be there for.
Oh, nice one, mate.